particularly how injured he is and he's trying to play through it. I mean, he's just not going to be effective right now. So I don't know what Cleveland is.
Well, Bengals have a shot. They're the 7th seed at the moment, and they could move up. And you're right, they're only 1 game off of the Ravens, so who knows? Man. Hey, how about those Chiefs? They've won 5 in a row. Are the Chiefs back, and should we be afraid of them, and they're going to go all the way?
Well, I got to say that they turned around their defense. Offensively, they're not going for the killer play every time now. They are doing some dinking and dunking a little bit, but that defense, finally, it's like whatever they did. Chris Jones, that defensive line, it's like they finally woke up. I mean, they're putting some pressure on people, whereas earlier on they weren't. So I think it's defense more than offense. Obviously, they've got they're a powerhouse offense no matter what.
I had me a little cup of coffee at Dunkin' the other day. Deacon and Dunkin'.
Oh.
All right, keep going.
I was going to say, they kept bringing up during the broadcast that the wind was a factor. I don't know if that was true. I mean, both quarterbacks didn't really throw the ball that well. But to be fair, both defenses are actually very, very good, especially how Kansas City has turned around. I think kind of like Lugs brought up, Chris Jones early on in the season, they tried to play a D end where he's primarily been a D tackle, and then he got injured for a while. So I think that accounted for some of their weaknesses. And then also I think they moved some of the corners around, had someone maybe starting who they were like, he's not working. So they rotated someone in who was more effective. So, their defense is hot, but still, if they're going to contend for another title, that offense is going to have to start getting into a better groove.
Rhythm.
If they're going to really contend with even what New England's doing right now. There is a chance that the Titans get Derrick Henry back in the playoffs. So, again, that's a huge get for them. So if they're going to compete with those teams, they're going to have to get right.
Okay, I got some questions. Coaches on the hot seat. I say Matt Nagy, that sealed it yesterday. And I say
Probably.
Zimmer, and I say Kyle Shanahan, but maybe not. But what about Nagy and Zimmer? Out?
I would think that Nagy, unless that ownership just absolutely is in love with him.
They kind of are. They kind of do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the only thing that can save him. X's and O's, he ain't going to get there.
Amen to that.
He doesn't know what an X is, nor an O, I don't believe. He missed that game. He didn't play tic-tac-toe back as a kid. That's some rough stuff.
I would definitely those two. It's only been year 2. You almost have to think Joe Judge is on the hot seat a little bit.
Only always.
And again, I don't even know if he's a bad coach. That's the thing with like at least with Nagy. I mean, he's been there 4 years. He is what he is.
Yeah.
Again, it's not fair to. I mean, you look at what Joe Judge inherited. I mean, I don't know. You look at that roster for the Giants. I like a lot of their people on defense. Offensively, I mean, it pains me to say, but Saquon has only had one good year, and these last 3 years have just been purgatory for his career. I mean, just through injury, and I don't know what else.
I'm
trying to look at some of the other
any other games you want to coaches.
Pete Carroll.
Ooh, yeah.
I think he might be gone.
He'll just retire. He'll step out.
Yeah,
he's got too much pride, dignity, safe face.
I don't think Pete Carroll's gone. I really don't.
Well, if he's not gone, then Russell gets traded.
I think Russell is gone. I think you've got to get Russell. I mean, he wants out, and I think his wife wants out. She's had enough of the rain. You can only have so many colorful umbrellas when you get tired of being wet. So,
hey, honey, I'm tired of the rain. Let's just go. All right, Lugs, you got any sports yesteryear? You want to try that?
Sure. Let me just.
We'll get back to the NFL in just a minute, but first, there's this. It's Sports of Yesteryear from the Wayback Machine. Here's Lugs. He's out and about in his mobile command center, I think. Go ahead,
All
Lugs.
right.
Go ahead. Go, go, go.
All right, boys, strap in. We'll get back to the NFL right now. 1925, record 73,000 pay to watch the Chicago Bears beat the New York Giants 19-7. 1955, New York psychologist Joyce Brothers wins the $64,000 question with the topic of boxing of all things. 1961, 27th Heisman Trophy Award goes to Ernie Davis from Syracuse. He was a halfback.
Oh, yeah.
And the first African American to win the award. 1984, Polina Sikova snaps Martina Navratilova's 74 match winning streak, stops her from completing the Grand Slam at the Australian Open. 2003, the 12th SEC championship game. Number 3, LSU beats number 5, Georgia, 34-13. And I just want to note that some special things are coming up as we close the show out, but that's it for this moment.
All right, that's Sports of Yesteryear. How many Talovas did you have in that one sentence, man? There was, I can't even keep up with them. Talova, Maritalova,
Sikova.
Sokovia.
Yeah, I think Putin was there. So it was an all-Russian day.
And Ernie Davis, yes, absolutely. Syracuse, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, other things to cover in this broadcast.
Since we were talking about some of the great young quarterbacks, I'm not going to put him in the echelon, but a guy who at least the last few games has kind of built traction up. Maybe he doesn't stay at this place, but maybe he gets to be a starter somewhere else with the way he's played the last few weeks. Tua Tagovailoa from Miami.
Yeah.
He's really kind of turning around. Again, he doesn't have a lot of the physical gifts that I think Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert have. But if you still watch him, he kind of acts as like a point guard. Like he's not going to throw a lot of deep shots, but he's very good at quickly distributing the ball. You can tell like he processes things quickly, similar to Mac Jones, at least in terms of that processing ability. It feels like so. And again, like I said, I think the Giants have a good defense. I know that they're not a good team, but I think the way in which he played, I know the numbers aren't overwhelming, but I thought he played very solid. And again, quietly, Miami Dolphins still kind of in the wild card race.
In the hunt.
And then if you, again, here's the thing. Looking at their schedule, next week they have the Jets, they have the Saints, they have the Titans.
Good
and
stuff.
They finish out with the Patriots. So I think there's a good shot they win at least 3 so they can go 9-8. I don't know if that gets you into the playoffs, but
so we're pretty confident in the top seeds, like 1, 2, and 3 in each division, probably each conference. But the bottom 4, that's kind of going to be what you're saying. Could be up in the air. Could be anybody still with
topsy-turvy.
Yeah,
definitely.
Wildlings. I like that. Wild things and wildlings. Yes, sir. Yes.
And then one last wildling is going to their backup quarterback who, even though he's not going to start next week, I think maybe he should be if we're going to start a quarterback controversy. Gardner Minshew.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the stash.
Holy crap. What the heck? And again, it's against the Jets. To be fair, I want to be fair to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has had a lot of good moments this year, maybe. But, like, Gardner Minshew played great, but it was against the Jets. But Dallas Goedert looked like the second coming of Tony Gonzalez. He had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, a tight end. Jets didn't – they were like, we're not going to try to stop this guy who just got a huge extension during the season. Like, maybe we should try to key on this guy. They did not. But he went off. Their offensive line is good. Gardner Minshew knows how to distribute the ball. He played well with the Jacksonville, so it's kind of surprising. You look at how at times Roethlisberger struggled and stuff that the Eagles were able to trade a 6th-round pick to get Gardner Minshew. It's still crazy to me. And it keeps them in the race to be a wildling. So I don't know.
Oh, I was just going to say the crazy highlight of the week for me was Kai Cabellos at North Dakota State goes to save a ball out of bounds in the corner and throws it back up and makes a 3-pointer on the opposing team's goal. Now, that was great. But North Dakota State, despite that, it ended up winning against Denver. But that's a great highlight if you want to go see just a crazy highlight.
Yeah, the Bison, North Dakota State Bison, I think.
And this will be the last thing to touch on in terms of
Yes.
going back always, in terms of coaches. I don't think he's on the hot seat because, again, I think he's signed like a 6-year contract. And I still believe in him. But I will say this, Matt Rule, I am going to sell some of my shares in because they fired Joe Brady on Sunday. Obviously, Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator, had such success with Joe Burrow at LSU and whatnot. I'm not saying maybe he wasn't over his head when he came to the NFL, that people didn't figure out his offensive system or whatnot. That being said, I feel the reason why I'm selling shares is this. When I see that move, the way they've kind of made moves, how much money they gave Cam Newton in the year for like X amount of games,
Yep.
and they're already still playing, I believe, Teddy Bridgewater, and they're going to still be playing Sam. It feels to me that Tepper, their owner, is too involved in the comings and goings of the team, and his background is not in football. So when I hear situations like that, I'm going to sell some shares. That's all I wanted to say.
Fuzzy math for Mr. Rule, huh? All right, well, that's how that goes. All right, that's going to bring to a close this edition of Sports and Other Stuff, brought to you in part by this week by Faro Mobile Homes. Yes, cross that money-saving bridge for big savings. It's on the right going in, on the left going out, right where all them trees are. Stop in and ask for
Fish.
Yeah.
And Fish wants to let you know, Fish wants to let you know that his impressive thing this week was 2 Japanese volleyball players get in a fight, then kiss each other on the lips and go to their neutral corners. So in that honor, we're going to give out a special award later for the holidays.
All right, that we'll look forward to that. This has been Sports and Other Stuff. We'll be back next week, we hope. Until then, so long for now.